In this video, I want to see if the best team in every Madden would win the Super Bowl with the worst starting quarterback. Huge shout out to MaddenRatings.weebly.com. They give us the team ratings going all the way back and the starting quarterbacks in every Madden, dating all the way back to Madden 01. So we're going to use that information to build our teams. But first, now today I have one goal, and that's to win a game on Football Head Coach 23. Now, Football Head Coach is a licensed NFL PA mobile game, and you can download it in the app or the Play Store for free. You can do it straight through the link in the description. It'll take you right to it. So first up, I had to go ahead and create an account. My team didn't start off very hot, so I gotta go ahead and open some packs. Gonna start with this Elite Gold pack for 600 gold bars. An 87 overall Daniil Hunter. We got a bunch of other players as well. Joe Thuney. Gonna open this one right here. See if you can get an 88 or higher. Let's try it again. 600 more gold bars. This time we get an 85 offensive tackle Colton Miller, 83 overall Montez Sweat, 86 overall DeMarcus Lawrence, 88 overall Jimmy Ward. That's what we were looking for. Huge upgrade to the team. Here's an updated look at the lineup. Here we go. We got a game against Bonquavion. Let's see if we can get the W. Second and 9 is Jacobs, who gets the touchdown. First points of the game. All right, drive number 2. Carter gets the stop on first, but there's Eckler, who also gets stopped. Third and long. Lawrence surveying the field, finding Devontae Parker for the touchdown. Simmons straight to the end, and you can see we catch the W, 73-13. No doubt in my mind we would have struggled to win any games if I didn't open packs and spend some of those gold bars. So there you have it. If you want to join in on the action, download Football Head Coach, link in the description. It's free to play. You can download it in the app or the Play Store for free. Now before we get started, we have a few super chats. At Juice James says, see how far our team of all Bama players go. That's a series we could do in the future. I do want to start doing like college teams and whatnot. Thanks for the donation. At Patrick McColburn says, video where every team gets their best player from every Madden. Love the content. Keep up the grind. Thank you. We are planning on doing that one. Don't worry. It's coming very soon. Eli Kale says, do a vid where you put the last 10 Super Bowl champions in a tournament to see who's the best. By the way, love your content. Keep it up. Now, I did a video where I put the last 8 Super Bowl winners in a tournament, so I'm gonna double it up. I'm gonna put the last 16 Super Bowl winners in a tournament, not just 10. Okay, thanks for the donation. That one would be in the next few months. At Kyle Reese says they have a point, but maybe do that with random other teams, the best players 2010 to 2019, with any team like Lions, Cards, Rams, etc. Whatever team, I'd love to see it regardless if it was a team I didn't like. I think he's referring to when my man's asked to do an Eagles franchise from 2010 to 2019. That one could be possible. Maybe we'll like spin a wheel so it's completely random. And then last but not least, my dude says, love the vids. I greatly appreciate it. Thanks for all the donations. Now before we get started, I'm going to be doing a PlayStation 5 giveaway over on my Twitter. Once we reach 500 followers, I will go ahead and make the giveaway post. That's all you have to do. Go ahead and follow. Even if you already have one, do it for your fellow subscribers. Once we get to 500, I'll let it fly. Now we can get started on the video. Now here we are in Madden 01. Now the Rams were a 95 overall in this Madden, but so were the Jaguars. So we had to spin a wheel, and they told us to use the team that used to be called St. Louis. So that's where we begin the experiment. Kurt Warner was the quarterback. Falk was a 95. This was when they were the greatest show on turf with a really good defense to go along with it. We're gonna have to trade Warner away and go get the worst starting quarterback in Madden 01, 74 overall, Jeff Garcia from the San Francisco 49ers. Gonna simulate to the playoffs. If they make it, I'll hop in and get a game. If not, they don't deserve gameplay. I'm sorry. They end up 5-11. Horrendous season. Garcia with 16 touchdowns, 14 picks. Falk had over 1,200 yards, so he did his job on the ground. 5 yards a carry. Isaac Bruce almost had a 1,000-yard season. 15 sacks from Kevin Carter to lead everyone. But the best team could not get it done. On to Madden 02. Now in this Madden, the Baltimore Ravens were a 99 overall, so they should be the heavy favorite. They have 2 99s, a 98 Matt Stover at kicker, Rod Woodson, Bolware, Shannon Sharp. I mean, the team is just disgusting.
Their quarterback is Elvis.
82 overall, but we're gonna have to trade him. There were 2 69 overall starting quarterbacks in Madden 02, Jay Felder and Jeff Lewis. We spun the wheel, and we had to end up getting Jeff from the Carolina Panthers. So now he's leading the way for Baltimore. Baltimore. Can they still get it done with a new quarterback? They go 9-7 and squeak into the wild card. Pretty solid season from Jeff Lewis. 20 touchdowns, only 12 picks, almost 3,500 yards. Jamal Lewis with a decent season, 4.6 yards a carry. Shannon Sharp led the team with 84 catches, 1,100 yards. 12 sacks from Ray Lewis to lead everyone. 3 picks from Bolware. Now they have a wild card game against the Patriots, and they end up losing 22-42. So still no Super Bowl with the best team. On to the next one. Madden 03. The best team was 94 overall St. Louis with 99 overall Marshall Faulk, 98 Orlando Pace, 97 Aeneas Williams, and a 97 Kurt Warner. This team once again was extremely stacked. 292 overall wide receivers. Leonard Little on defense, Adam Archuleta. I mean, the list goes on and on. But the worst starting quarterback was a tie between 69 overall Gus Frerotte and 69 overall Shane Matthews. We spun the wheel and we had to go with the Redskins quarterback. Shane Matthews is going to be the new starter in St. Louis. He has a lot of talent to work with. Let's see if he can help them make it to the postseason. That's how you bounce back. They go 12-4. Matthews with only 2 more touchdowns than interceptions, but threw for a lot of yards. However, it was Marshall Faulk that carried this offense. 16 touchdowns, 1,300 yards. Bruce with a 1,400 yard season. Holt also had over 1,000 yards. Faulk out the backfield was cooking. 11 sacks from Polly. 4 picks from Dre Bly. They end up first in the NFC with the first round bye. We're gonna simulate the playoffs, man. We'll get some gameplay later in the video when Super Sim is an option. But at least the Rams caught the dub in the divisional. 31-17 against the Seahawks. However, they lose by 1 point to the Packers in a conference championship game. That's the closest we have gotten so far. In Madden 04, we had a 2-way tie for the best team. The Dolphins and the Buccaneers were both 88 overall, so we spun the wheel and they told us to go to Tampa Bay. Now, the worst starting quarterback in that Madden was 73 overall Chad Hutchinson. So here he is leading the way. 81 overall Michael Pittman, 93 Mike Allstott, Keyshawn Johnson, Jared Vicious at wide receiver. Pretty decent offensive line. Simeon Rice, 97 overall with 98 Warren Sapp, 90 Anthony McFarland. So their front 7 is disgusting. On defense, 99 Derek Brooks with a 94 Rondé Barber, Brian Kelly, cornerback core looking nasty. John Lynch, the heavy hitter. I mean, this is a nasty roster top to bottom. Grammatica at kicker. I think they can go deep even with a 73 overall QB. They go 8-8, 1 game out of the playoffs. Hutchinson threw 5 more interceptions than touchdowns. Over 3,200 yards. Thomas Jones led them with 800 yards rushing. Keyshawn was less than 60 yards from 1,000. Brooks led us in tackling. Sapp had 11 sacks and a bunch of guys had 3 picks. Ricky Williams wins the MVP. Derek Brooks finished 4th for DPOY. He did all he could, but the Bucks could not get to the postseason. On to the next one. The best team in Madden 05 was the 99 overall New England Patriots, and the worst starting quarterback was 78 overall Tim Rattay on the San Francisco 49ers. So Tom Brady is finally gonna play in San Francisco. We're trading him away, and Tim Rattay is the new quarterback for New England. This is the most confident I've been so far, with an insane roster around him. Great O-line, phenomenal head coach, of course. 96 Richard Seymour, Willie McGinnis, Brewski, Vrabel, Ty Law, 98 overall, Samuel, Tyrone Poole. There's no weaknesses on this roster. 97 Harrison. You have Adam Vinatieri. Rattay should be able to take them to the playoffs at least. Patriots get the 6th and final playoff spot, 9-7. Rattay throws 5 more interceptions than touchdowns, just over 3,000 yards, a 65.5 pass rating, but his team squeaks into the playoffs. Dillon with 1,300 yards. He made the Pro Bowl. No 1,000 yard receiver. Vrabel leads the team with 14 sacks, 8 INTs for Poole. Law, Wilson, and Harrison had 6. Asante had 5, so defense was dominant. Here's a look at the rankings. Offense, pretty average in most of them. Defense, top 3 in almost every major category. Amon Green wins the MVP. 1,800 yards rushing. 4 of the top 5 are running backs, man. That's crazy. Corey Dillon in the top 4 for OPOY. And a quick scroll through of all the other awards, in case you were wondering. Here we go. Patriots versus Browns in the wild card game. And they catch the W, 29-22. Rattay with a decent game, 2 touchdowns, 2 2 picks. Corey Dillon with a touchdown on the ground. 2 touchdowns for Deion Branch. Vinatieri didn't miss 1 kick. Tyrone Poole with an interception. Asante Samuel as well. Now they have a matchup against division rival Miami in the divisional, and they end up losing 16-12. The run stops here, but still not a bad season for New England. Rattay with 0 touchdowns and a pick. I'm surprised they went this far with him. Let's see how they do in the next one. And yes, I said they, because the Patriots are once again the best team. In Madden 06, they were a 97. And in this Madden, the lowest overall starter is AJ Feely, 78 overall on the Dolphins. So now Brady stays in the AFC East, but he's playing in Miami. And the new starter for New England is Feely. Roster looks about the same from the previous Madden. Vinatieri's up to a 99, down 2 overalls as a team, but still extremely solid. This time, New England misses the playoffs. With a slightly better quarterback, they go 7-9. Feely actually had a pretty decent season, 19 touchdowns, 13 picks. Dillon with 1,400 yards rushing. Branch with a 1,000-yard season. 2 guys with 100+ tackles. Seymour with 9 sacks. McGinnis 8. Wilfork with 6, along with Vrabel. 6 INTs for Wilson. Offense was really bad. Dead last in the division in almost every single category. Defense, however, this time could not bail them out. They were pretty bad as well. MVP goes to Clinton Portis, 2,600 yards, 24 touchdowns. Pretty sure that's a record for most rushing yards in a season. Quick scroll through to see if any Patriots had any type of awards. Man, this is a season to forget for them. Now, Madden 07, the best team was a 97 overall Indianapolis Colts, and the worst starting quarterback was 79 overall Kelly Holcomb. So 99 overall Peyton Manning is headed to Buffalo in return for Holcomb. Colts have a really good roster. Freeney, Harrison, Vinatieri, who we just saw on the last 2 Patriot teams. A ton of 90+ overalls. Bob Sanders, Robert Mathis, Dallas Clark. So Holcomb still has a lot of talent to throw to. We'll see how he does with this roster. They go 9-7, first place in their division. Hasselbeck ends up with the MVP. But look at Holcomb, top 5 in MVP voting. He did his thing, man. You cannot say he was carried. Peyton wins OPOI, but Holcomb ends up 3rd behind LT. June ends up 4th for DPOI. I mean, hey, this is one of the best seasons we've seen. I mean, look at this, 2nd place for best QB right behind Peyton. Harrison gets best wide receiver. They had DM in the top 2 for best O-lineman. June in there. Phenomenal stats from Holcomb, 35 touchdowns, 8 picks, almost 4,600 yards with a 100 pass rating. That's like an MVP level season. He did his thing. Rhodes, 935 rushing yards, 1,400 receiving yards for Marvin Harrison. Most tackles went to Cato June. Most sacks went to Freeney. Mathis was a few behind, and multiple guys had 4 INTs. Still no super sim available. We're gonna have to sim this matchup against the Steelers, and they lose 27-24 in overtime. Tough way to go out. Holcomb low-key had a better game than Roethlisberger. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Has to be one of the best seasons we've seen from a quarterback. That was the worst starting quarterback so far in the video. He did all he could. Looking at Madden 08 now, and the Patriots are once again the best team at a 97 overall. And their quarterback is gonna be 76 overall Tarvaris Jackson. Rest in peace to the late quarterback from Minnesota. Tom Brady's once again heading to the NFC. This time he's going to play for the Vikings. Seymour, the highest overall on the Patriots. Samuel up to a 96. You have Adalius Thomas. Randy Moss, wide receiver 1 for Tarvaris. So he's in good hands with a phenomenal defense. Still a lot of great names from a few Maddens ago when we saw the Patriots last. I expect them to not only make the playoffs, but to have a pretty deep playoff run. Worst season we've seen so far from New England. They go 6-10, 3rd in their division. Bulger wins MVP on the Rams. Let's see if any Patriots got any awards at all. So far, nothing. Best quarterback, no top 5 finish for Mr. Jackson, unfortunately. Jackson with a pretty decent season, 21 touchdowns, 10 picks, 3,600 yards, 81 passer rating. Added 3 touchdowns on the ground. Maroney led them with 5. He also had almost 1,200 yards rushing. Moss was less than 30 yards away from 1,000. Kind of shocking he didn't get there, man. If you want to be dominant, you probably have to get him the ball a little bit more. Asante ties with Harrison and James with 4 interceptions interceptions to lead the team. 5 sacks was the most on the squad, so defense was not generating that much pressure. Maybe Brady was carrying a lot more on these teams than we want to admit. Luckily, we get to see them again in the next one. Madden 09, we have New England once again, the same exact overall, 97. This time their quarterback is going to be 78 overall, Brodie Croyle from the Kansas City Chiefs. So after playing against them multiple times in the playoffs, Brady is now headed to Kansas City. 99 Randy Moss to throw to. Seymour, 96. Same with Mankins. O-line's looking really solid. 3 of their top 6 players are on the offensive line. 4 of their top 10 are 94 and above. So he's going to have plenty of time to throw the football. Defense, once again, filthy. So I'm pretty sure they should make the playoffs. At least they should do better than 6-10. Much better showing in this one than the last one. They go 11-5, first in their division. Bulger wins MVP again. Croyle finishes top 5 in OPOY in the AFC, proving that he helped out the team quite a little bit, man. He did not get carried. He finished 3rd in terms of best quarterback. Wes Welker finished 4th for best wide receiver. I'm surprised Randy Moss was not in the top 5. Croyle with 25 touchdowns, only 10 picks, 3,800 yards, passing a 98 pass ratings. Really solid. Maroney, 862 yards on the ground. Moss had way more receptions, a little bit more yards than Welker, but had 5 less touchdowns, so I guess that's what they looked at when deciding the best wide receivers. Brewski led the team in tackling. Only 3 guys had more than 1 pick. 8 sacks for Seymour, and then a bunch of guys with 4. Wild card game against the Patriots. We finally have Super Sim. We can go ahead and get some gameplay. I might have to go deep. They're bringing up everybody. Brody throwing it deep. First play, Randy Moss. Oh, that would have been nasty. Gonna put Welker on a slant. Moss on a go. And here we go, Brody. Oh yeah, he's open. Randy Moss off to the races. There it is. First points of the game. Dominant performance by the Patriots and Brodie Croyle. They put up 40 against a really good Jaguars team. 363 yards passing for Croyle. 4 touchdowns, no picks. What is with these low overall starting quarterbacks doing incredibly well on New England? Well, when you have Randy Moss to pass to, that helps a lot. 11 for 207 with 2 receiving touchdowns. That's gonna help you quite a bit. Time to sim to the Super Bowl. Like the video for good luck, man. Can we finally get a team to win with the worst starting quarterback? No, we cannot. The Patriots lose in the divisional 17-9 against the Chargers. Croyle, 0 touchdowns, 1 pick. Did not have his best showing. LT with a touchdown. Randy 6 for 52. Believe it or not, the Patriots are going to have yet another chance in Madden 10. In this one, they were a 93 overall. And there was a tie in terms of the worst starting quarterbacks. Sage Rosenfels and Sean Hill were both 69 overall. And the wheel told us to go ahead and use Sage from the Minnesota Vikings. So that's who we're going to use. They actually have him at a 68, which is even worse. But Brady's headed to Minnesota, and Rosenfels is the new quarterback with a 96 overall. Randy Moss to throw to. O-line still phenomenal on New England. Seymour leading the way on defense. Wolfork a 91 overall, so their front 7 is still disgusting. They dominate the league, go 13-3, first in the AFC. Romo wins MVP, but Rosenfels finishes top 5. He finished 3rd for OPOY. The top 2 DPOY finishers were on the Patriots though, so he had a lot of help. 37 touchdowns, only 13 picks, and almost 4,300 yards for Sage Rosenfels. What a season. 937 yards rushing for Fred Taylor. 2,000-yard receivers, Welker and Moss. Gerard Mayo led them in tackling. He also led them with 12.5 sacks. Thomas had 10.5. 7 INTs for James Sanders. We simmed this week, and now the Patriots have a game against the Chiefs, and they cashed the W 24-10. Rosenfels 20 of 36, 232 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Flawless game from him. 8 for 77 and 2 touchdowns from Randy. Now they got a game against the 11-5 Steelers, and they catch the W, same exact score. I think this is the first Super Bowl appearance in this video for any team. The Patriots in Madden 10 taking on the Vikings, the team who we traded Tom Brady to. You can't make this up. I would play one drive, but I don't want to sell them. Gonna Gonna spectate the first drive. I'm not using either team. Adrian trying to get to the outside. He loses 7. Phenomenal start. I know it's highlighted on Merriweather, but I'm not using him, okay? My controller is down. Brady on second down. Gonna lob it up. How is that not a pick 6? And now it's 3rd and 17. Brady with so much time, but it ends up being a 3 and out. Great start by the defense. Could have been even better though. Rosenfels versus his old team. Let's see how he does on the first drive of the game. Fred Taylor, okay, it was a play action. Wide receiver screen, great block downfield from Randy Moss. Welker breaking tackles again. 5 wide, he's going to Welker again, who gets another first down, another broken tackle. This dude's dominating. Been a pretty good drive so far. Can they cap it off with a touchdown? 3-man rush for the Vikings. Rosenfels over the middle, touchdown. Randy Moss. Patriots take the first lead of the game. Right, he's super simming to the end. If it's still close, we will stop the sim in the 4th quarter and hop right in. Minnesota takes the lead in the 2nd quarter. Oh no, we got a close one though. A very close one. Never mind. New England down 10. This one's over. Valiant effort from the Patriots. They almost won it all with a 69 overall quarterback, but they just could not beat their best player ever, the GOAT. Tom Brady ends up winning it on the Vikings. On to the next Madden. Madden 11. We're looking at a brand new team, the New Orleans Saints, for the first time. They're a 92 overall, and they're going to be led by 70 overall Ryan Fitzpatrick from the Buffalo Bills with a 98 overall Jari Evans blocking for him. 91 Jamal Brown, 91 Carl Nicks. 4 of the top 5 players on the Saints are on the offensive line. 90 plus overalls. Darren Sharper, the other one in that top 5. So Fitzmagic might be able to make something happen. Shockey on this team. Pretty solid weapons. You can see why they're a 92 overall. Could not get back-to-back teams into the Super Bowl. The Saints don't even make the playoffs. They go 6 and 10. Peyton wins MVP. No Saints in the top 5 for OPOY or DPOY, unfortunately. Not to mention best QB, best running back. I mean, I haven't seen one New Orleans player yet, and we're scrolling through all the awards. 24 touchdowns, 34 interceptions, almost 4,000 yards though. Fitzmagic with a really bad season. One of the worst we've seen. In this video, Thomas 831 yards to lead everyone. 2,000 yard receivers. You know, at least he was getting good yardage, but that's just way too many interceptions. I mean, you're not gonna win if your quarterback's giving the ball away that many times. Nothing the Saints could have done in this one. We have another first time team in Madden 12, the Green Bay Packers, for a 92 overall to lead the league, and they're going to be led by 70 overall Derek Anderson from the Arizona Cardinals. They're going to have to get rid of a 98 overall Aaron Rodgers. He might help get Larry Fitzgerald a ring, but here's a look at the Packers ratings. I don't think Lawrence Guy's a 99, so their best players either Matthews or Collins at a 95. You have Sitton on the O-line, but he's their only guy that's a 90 plus overall. Both tackles are in the 80s, same with the center, so it's not all bad. They're looking pretty solid. Ryan Grant leading the way at running back, Greg Jennings, Donald Driver, Jermichael Finley. So I'm liking this offense. Packers go 8 and 8, missing out on the postseason, even though 2 teams made it at 8 and 8, so they were just a little bit unlucky. Peyton Manning wins the MVP. 12 touchdowns, 18 picks, 3,400 yards. Derek Anderson did not have a great season. 1,200 yards rushing for Ryan Grant. He did his thing. 1,300 yards for Greg Jennings to lead everyone on Green Bay. Nick Barnett led them in tackling. 12.5 sacks for Brad Jones. Matthews only a half sack behind him. And then Collins and Woodson with 4 INTs. Tough season for the Packers. They might have another chance in Madden 13. And I say might because they're tied with the Patriots. 91 overall for the highest in Madden 13. So we spin the wheel. And they're telling us to use Green Bay once again. And we're not done with the wheel spins for this Madden. 4 quarterbacks that were starting during this season were a 75 overall. Christian Ponder, Kevin Cobb, Colt McCoy, and Chad Henne. So here we go, man. Only one of these quarterbacks will be on the Packers, and it's gonna be Christian Ponder. This time Rodgers saying goodbye, but he's staying in the same division. Packers fans, close your eyes. He's gonna be on the Vikings. Taking a look at the Packers players, you only have 3 guys guys at a 90 overall or higher. Saturday on this team at center, Jordy Nelson, Bulaga, Crosby, Driver. Pretty solid roster top to bottom once again. They have a lot of depth. Running back James Starks leading the way. They go 5 deep at wide receiver, man. Just nasty. Finley once again at tight end. Hoping for a good season from Green Bay. They go 9-7 and barely miss out on the playoffs. Redskins take the last wild card spot. Frustrating way to go out. Ponder did a great job. 36 touchdowns, 16 picks, 4,400 yards, a 93 passer rating. So he had a great season. Starks, 3 yards per carry, not very good at all from the run game. 2,000-yard receivers, Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson. Bishop led them with 124 tackles, 9 sacks for Brad Jones, lead everyone. Matthews right behind him with 6. 5 picks for Charles Woodson, one of the best to ever do it. Burnett had 4. MVP goes to Eli, but look at Ponder, 6th place for MVP, man. He had himself a really good season in Green Bay. He was 5th for OPOY. Not really sure what to say, man. His run game really let him down in this one. One of the better seasons we've seen from the worst starting quarterback in this video. Madden 25, we have the San Francisco 49ers as the best team. They were a 91 overall, and the worst starting quarterback was Geno Smith, a 73. Colin Kaepernick was the quarterback of the Niners. 399s on the rest of the Niners roster. Vernon Davis, Willis, Alden Smith, 97 Andy Lee at punter, 95 Justin Smith. I mean, look at all the 90+ overalls. Frank Gore might finally get himself a ring. So much talent on this roster. I feel good about our chances. 2 90+ overall wide receivers, Crabtree and Bolden. There's no way Geno doesn't take them to at least the playoffs. So they end up second in the division, 10-6, and they have a wild card game. Geno with over 3,000 yards, only 13 touchdowns and 9 picks. Their run game was going crazy. Frank Gore, 1,300 yards on the ground, 5 touchdowns. Anquan led them with 849 receiving yards. Patrick Willis, most tackles on the team and most interceptions, tied with Carlos Rogers. Most sacks was Alden Smith with 10. Peyton wins the MVP. Shady wins OPOY in the NFC. I'm trying to see if there's any Niners at all. Okay, there we go. Patrick Willis, top 6 for DPOY. No top 10 finish for Geno, unfortunately. Frank Gore, top 6 for best running back. Upati and Joe Staley, top 2 for best O-lineman. So Geno's getting some great protection, things you love to see. Gonna get one drive in, see what they're able to do. Smith wearing Kaepernick's number, see if he can play as well as he did. Oh no! Ziggy Ansah getting the sack, man. This is a running team. I should be running the football. What am I doing? Frank Gore on 2nd and 20, hoping to get so many yards back, and we can't make it happen. 3rd down and 21. I'm looking for Vernon Davis. There he is. Vernon getting a nice catch, but it's 4th and 2. I don't want to sell the game for them, so I'm gonna super sim, let them handle it. If it's close at the end, you already know we will hop back in. Look at the Niners off to a 28-0 lead at halftime. They didn't need my help. Dominant performance in this one. Good game from Geno, almost 100+ passer rating, 2 touchdowns, no picks for Geno, 4 picks for Matthew Stafford. Horrendous game from him, but credit to the defense. Let's see who got the INTs. 2 from Bowman. Him and Willis was a nasty duo. Carlos Rogers, Whitner. Can they keep the win streak going against the Redskins in the divisional? No, they end up losing 13-28. RG3 outplays Geno, and the Niners end up getting to the divisional. Not a bad season, not the worst we've seen in this video. Staying in the NFC West for Madden 15, the Seahawks were a 91 overall, and they're gonna be led by 75 overall Jake Locker. Say goodbye to Russell Wilson. He's headed to Tennessee. Sherman leading the way at a 99. You have Earl Thomas, Cam Chancellor, the LOB in its prime, beast mode at running back. Now Wilson was a monster during this time period, but he didn't have to do it all, okay? So Locker might have a chance to help them get to the Super Bowl. I'm curious to see how he does. They end up 8-8 and not making the playoffs, unfortunately. NFC was a bloodbath. They had the undefeated Packers. Locker finishes with 24 touchdowns, 15 picks, 3,700 yards, a 90 pass rate, not bad. Beast mode with 1,500 yards, 15 touchdowns. So the run game was cooking. Percy, 1,100 yards, leads the team in receiving. You know the defense did their thing, okay? Multiple guys with 100+ tackles, 6 INTs from Maxwell. Wagner and Sherman had 5. 6 sacks from Bruce Irvin, so they weren't generating that much pressure. Aaron Rodgers takes home the MVP. No top 10 finish for any Seahawk, but beast mode Mode finishes 6th for OPOY. He tried. And of course, look at the defense. 2 guys in the top 7 for DPOY in the NFC. Locker finished 9th for best QB. So honestly, it wasn't a bad season all around. Just a bit unlucky that the NFC was this stacked during this simulation. I'm kind of shocked they didn't make it, but hey, they might have another chance in the very next Madden. And that's because in Madden 16, we had a two-way tie with Seattle and New England. Both 91 overall, the highest in the game. So we had to spin the wheel, and it decided to give the Seahawks another crack at it. Their quarterback is going to be 72 overall, Josh McCown from the Cleveland Browns. Gosh. Now, unfortunately, they docked McCown 3 overalls, so it's going to be even tougher for Seattle to get to the big game. You have Beast Mode is a 96, Jimmy Graham up to a 99. O-line pretty decent. Defense, you still have the LOB, Sherman, Thomas, Chancellor. D-line's disgusting with Averill and Bennett, not to mention Wagner still there with Irvin and Wright. So I think the defense could carry them pretty far. Back-to-back 8-8 seasons. They once again miss out on the playoffs, this time by only 1 game. McCown finishes with 21 touchdowns, 9 picks, 3,500 yards. That's a solid season. Beast Mode, 1,500 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 less than Turbin, but Marshawn averaged 6 yards a carry. Unbelievable job by him. Baldwin led the team in receiving. Wagner led the team in tackling. 7.5 sacks for Bennett, 5 picks for Sherman. Rodgers wins another MVP. Not really sure what went wrong. Like, why is this team not winning more games? I don't know, but I think this is the last we're gonna see of them in this video. Unfortunately, they had back-to-back chances. Beast Mode went bonkers in both of them. Had over 1,500 yards in both of them, but these quarterbacks could not do enough. In Madden 17, we had yet another tie. The Panthers and the Patriots were both 87 overall. So once again, we went to our trusty wheel. And this time, it told us to head to Carolina for the first time in a video. And their new quarterback is gonna be 73 overall, Robert Griffin III. Jonathan Stewart's gonna be his running back. You have Benjamin and Ted Ginn, a 96 Greg Olsen, really solid O-line. 99 Luke Kuechly, manning down the middle for the defense. Really good defensive line. Front seven's nasty. Secondary not too shabby either. And honestly, this isn't the worst swap we've seen. RG3 has a similar playstyle to Cam. They can both scramble, so maybe this one could work out better than we think. They end up 9-7, second in the NFC South, but they make it to the playoffs and they have a wild card game against Arizona. Big Ben wins the MVP. Russell Wilson takes some OPOY. Let's see if there's any Panthers anywhere in these awards. Okay, Kuechly finished top 9 for DPOY. No top 10 finish for RG3. In terms of best quarterback, Jonathan Stewart top 8 for best running back. So he did his thing on the ground. Look at the Cowboys and the Cardinals dominant when it comes to best O-lineman. Kuechly number 2 for best linebacker. You knew he'd be up there. Benet ends up top 3 for best DB. RG3 finished with 6 more touchdowns than interceptions, had 3,700 yards. Jonathan Stewart 1,300 yards on the ground. Benjamin leads the team in receiving yards and receptions. Thomas Davis leads the team in tackling. 8.5 sacks from Charles Johnson. 7 picks for Kuechly and Benet to lead the team. Ted Ginn could go deep, but that's Pat Pete. I'm a little nervous to go his direction. We got the first. Few plays later, 3rd and 18. I'm trying to get at least in the field goal range. Olsen might be the target. Let's see. He's not open. R1, baby. Way to go get it. Billy Brown once again. Slants is the play call. I feel like they're going to leave Olsen open. That's what I'm going to. What'd I say? Greg Olsen touchdown. We have done our part once again. Tied this bad boy up. If it's close in the 4th, we hop back in. Let's see if the Panthers can start off this playoff run with a W. So far, it's looking like it. 30-22. They get the W. RG3, 15-22. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Jonathan Stewart almost 5 yards a carry. Somehow they kept Fitzgerald in check when it mattered, and they're moving on to the next round. Simming all the way to the Super Bowl. Let's see if they can make it happen. They get clobbered by Minnesota, 52-7. I don't know what happened here. Okay, RG3 threw 5 interceptions, only 1 touchdown, and then Teddy B had a near perfect game. 3 touchdowns, no picks. McKinnon went off on the ground, 3 touchdowns against this defense. Honestly, a little bit shocked. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect them to go to the Super Bowl, but I did not expect them to go out like this. Madden 18, there's no wheel this time. We're going straight to New England. They were a 93 overall, the best in this one. And actually, there will be a wheel spin, okay? For the quarterbacks, there was a tie tie between 73 overall Josh McCown and 73 overall Jared Goff. They told us to put McCown in New England. McCown now leads the way for the Patriots. Deion Lewis, James White, Edelman, Brandon Cooks, Hogan, and Amendola. That's a pretty nasty wide receiver core with, of course, Gronk, 99 overall, and a filthy offensive line. Defense arguably is a little bit better with Malcolm Butler, Devin McCourty, Stephon Gilmore, Hightower, and a nasty front seven. No reason why McCown cannot take them to the playoffs. The Patriots and the Jets miss out on the playoffs. The Dolphins take first seed in the AFC East. MVP goes to Dak Prescott. Look at Josh McCown in the top 7 though. He finished 3rd for OPOY. Brady doesn't finish top 10, so I'm curious what happened. Dante Hightower wins DPOY in the AFC. Great season from him. 3-way tie for 2nd place in the AFC East is nuts, man. Edelman gets best wide receiver. Like, the Patriots are winning awards left and right. Flowers top 10 for best D lineman. Hightower top 3 for best linebacker. McCown finished 4th in passing yards, 6th in passing touchdowns, and 9th in passer rating. What more could he have done? 35 tutties, only 12 picks, and over 4,600 yards. Deion Lewis 1,100 yards. Edelman 1,300. One of the best seasons we've seen from a quarterback that we traded for in this video. And his defense did pretty well too. It is just an unfortunate season. On to Madden 19, and for the first time, we're headed to Philadelphia. The Eagles were a 95 at the start of this Madden, and guess what? We have to spin the wheel again. This time we have 74 overall Josh Allen and 74 overall Mitch Trubisky. We spun it, and it blessed the Eagles with a very athletic Josh Allen. So we're saying goodbye to Carson Wentz and saying hello to a very young Josh Allen, who has Jay Ajayi, Darren Sproles as his running backs, Aguilar and Alshon, along with Mike Wallace, Ertz and Goddard, a great O-line. And I know you see the overall. I don't know why they drop it. You know, obviously it changes throughout the season, but they were 95 according to MaddenRatings.weebly.com at the start of the year, and you can see why. Their defense looking good, a lot of depth. Malcolm Jenkins 94, Fletcher in his prime, along with BG, Michael Bennett. No way Allen does not get them to the playoffs. I'll be shocked. They finished 2nd in the NFC East, 8-8 on the season. Allen with a nasty season, 34 touchdowns, 9 picks, almost 4,000 yards. The J Train, only 4 yards per carry. 2,000-yard receivers, Alshon and Aguilar. 3 guys with 100+ tackles, 8.5 sacks for BG. 2 picks apiece for Malcolm and Darby to lead the squad. Offense was 23rd in the league. Defense was top half, so I honestly think it's the running game. I think that's what held us back. Tom Brady wins MVP. Allen doesn't get top 10. Wentz finishes top 10 on the Bills. There's Josh, 6th for OPOY, 6th for best quarterback. Yeah, it's definitely the run game. Unfortunately, I feel like maybe they could have got Sproles more involved. I mean, Aguilar won best wide receiver. Brooks in the top 6 for best O-lineman. The team was so talented. I mean, this is crazy. This is one of the craziest ones in terms of teams that didn't even make it to the playoffs. Luckily for them, in Madden 20, they have another chance. 89 overall. Philly was the highest in this one at the start. And they're actually going to use their nemesis, Eli Manning, who is a 72 overall. Seeing Eli in Philly is just nasty work. But hey, that's the theme of the video. Here he is, Eli, on the downside of his career, leading the way. Jordan Howard, new start running back. D-Jack's back in Philly. Ertz up to a 93. O-line still disgusting. Defense very solid. Fletcher up to a 96. A lot of depth once again. I'm rooting for a playoff berth, but I'm not holding my breath. Another disappointment from Philadelphia. 8-8, last in the NFC East. It's possible Eli sabotaged the Eagles on purpose. Never mind. I mean, 30 touchdowns, 13 picks, almost 4,000 pass yards. Even if he wanted to, that's just too good of a stat line. 1,100 yards from Jordan Howard. Aguilar leads the team in receiving. Maddox leads the team in tackling. You don't want that, okay? You don't want your slot cornerback leading the team in tackling. 10 sacks for BG. Leads the team in that category. Malcolm with 4 picks. MVP went to Marcus Mariota. And another lackluster season from Philly. The only 2 appearances that their team made in this video went about as bad as it could have. Eli finished top 8 in terms of best quarterback, so you can't blame him. I think it really comes down to the defense. I mean, you're seeing every single award. On offense, there's an Eagle player, okay? BG on defense, he did his thing. But yeah, the secondary, I don't know. I don't know know what happened. Malcolm showed up. The rest of them, I can't say what happened. We now find ourselves in Madden 21. For the second time in the video, we're headed back to New Orleans. The Saints were a 93 overall in Madden 21. And there was a 4-way tie for the worst starting quarterback in this Madden. Justin Herbert, Drew Lock, Gardner Minshew, and Dwayne Haskins were all 70 overalls. We spun the wheel, and rest in peace to this man. Dwayne Haskins will have a chance to win a Super Bowl. 99 overall, MT leading the way. Cameron Jordan, Armstead, Ramczyk, 4+ 90 overalls. You have Alvin Kamara at running back. Emmanuel Sanders, wide receiver 2. CJ GJ on this defense. Solid secondary. A lot of depth on this team. That's what I can remember about why they were so good. Hopefully they can get us back to the playoffs. It's been a few Maddens since we've seen any playoff football. Saints get us back to the playoffs. 10-6 during the season. Second in the NFC South. Haskins with a nasty performance. 36 touchdowns. Only 8 interceptions. 3,600 yards, 1,100 yards for Kamara on the ground. Solid season for him. Michael Thomas, 12 touchdowns, most receiving yards on the team. DeMario, most tackles. 11 sacks for Davenport to lead everyone. 3 picks for Malcolm. Allen wins MVP on the Bills. No top 10 finish for Dwayne Haskins. Kind of shocked after seeing his stats, man. He had a really good season. There we go. Top 10 for OPOY. You love to see it. That's how you bounce back. We were struggling in the last few Maddens, but we get a team into the postseason. Now it's time to see if all these players that are in the top 10, I mean, every single position so far, okay, besides best linebacker, has seen a Saint get in the top 10. Big game against the 9-7 Rams and Aaron Donald. You already know we get one drive with Haskins. See if we can score. Let's see how he does. Okay. Nobody's open. Donald gets the sack. Not a fun time playing against that guy right there. Gonna double team him on this play. I should have did that from the start. Let's see if that can help. Okay, Haskins over the middle, find an MT. 3rd and 6. X wide open. First down and then some. Jared Cook. Remember, this is when the Rams had Ramsey along with Donald. I mean, it's a scary defense to go up against. Kamara with a nice catch. Haskins has made some nice throws. Now it's time for Kamara to get the first points of the game. What a start. Gonna simulate all the way to the end. You know the vibes. If it is a close game, we will hop in, man. Can we get a subscription for Dwayne Haskins? Give him some good luck. Okay, can we get this man a Super Bowl? At least a playoff win. The Saints up multiple possessions in the 4th quarter. They're headed to the divisional. The great season from Haskins continues. 349 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. Kamara with 2 touchdowns on the ground. Cooper Kupp was going crazy. Luckily, it didn't result in any touchdowns, and we escaped with the W. They beat the Packers 42-10 in the divisional. Haskins with a near perfect game, 3 touchdowns, no picks. Outplays Aaron Rodgers and helps the Saints get to the conference championship game, where they end up losing by 3 to the Panthers, 24-27. Still one of the best seasons we have seen. I mean, look at this playoff run. 3 touchdowns, no picks. Just a disgusting season from Mr. Haskins. Almost got it done. In Madden 22, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers started at a 92 overall, highest in the league, and their quarterback is actually going to be determined by a wheel. We have Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold, both 71 overall. We spun the wheel, and Jalen is the guy who's going to end up in Tampa Bay. So watch the Eagles go far with Brady at quarterback. But Jalen's new roster features Levante, Evans, Marpet at a 90 overall and higher. A lot of guys in the high 80s. You have Gronk, Sue, Antonio Brown, JPP. This is the team that won the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure. So you already know the roster is pretty filthy. Another playoff bird. The Bucks go 10-7. Second in passing yards a game. Hurts killed it, and so did his defense. Top 2 in every major category. The run game was bottom 3 in the league though. Mahomes wins MVP. No top 10 finish for Jalen. Brady finished 7th for OPOY. There's Hurts, 9th. And then DPOY, you had Shaq Barrett in the top 6. Best QB. Brady finished 2nd. Jalen finished 7th. So it looks like both quarterbacks might have a chance to take their team deep in the playoffs in this simulation We're gonna check the stats real quick. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the video. Second in the league in terms of passing touchdowns was Hurts. 35 total, 16 INTs, almost 5,000 yards. Added 260 on the ground, almost 700 less than Ronald Jones, who had a pretty solid season. 2,000 yard receivers, Evans and Godwin. Devin White with the most tackles. Shaq Barrett with the most sacks, and Ndamukong Suh right behind him. Time to play against Seattle and Russell Wilson. Ronald Jones up the gut, getting a nice gain and a first down. Nobody's open. Jalen tried to throw it away, couldn't make it happen. This time Jalen's gonna, oh, wait a minute. Antonio Brown find a way to get open. Oh, Mike Evans going up, not holding on to it. It ends up being intercepted. I gotta be more careful. Either way, shaky start to this one. Hopefully Jalen's confidence does not take a hit after that start. Seahawks get the first lead of the game. I'm hoping the Bucks can bounce back. We're down 14-0. Okay, there we go. Finally get some points, but we're down multiple possessions at the start of half number 2. Fourth quarter, we're down 11, and it looks like we're going home in the wild card round. I take some blame for that one, but Jalen did throw 2 more interceptions the rest of the game. Just gotta take care of the football against a team that's good. Unfortunate end to this season. Gronk, AB, and company could not hoist the Lombardi. And finally, Madden 23. We are once again headed to Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers were a 92 overall, and they're gonna be led by 66 overall Drew Lock. There it is. If you remember, Geno started at a 60 overall. So Drew Lock was the highest on the roster, and now he's the highest on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A lot of familiar faces from the Madden 22 roster, but they did lose Antonio Brown. They lost Ndamukong Suh. They lost Rob Gronkowski. 3 starters on the team, so quite a bit of a hit, even though it's the same overall. It's going to be a little bit tougher. Would you look at that? Drew Lock in the very last Madden gives us some more playoff football. He goes 10-7 with the Bucks. 4th in the league in passing yards a game. 12th in total offense. His defense was about average at best. Top 3 in passing yards, top 2 in passing touchdowns. Who would have thought this man would just surprise so many people? 44 touchdowns, only 11 picks, a 103 passer rating, and over 5,000 passing yards. Fournette with almost 5 yards a carry had 1,200 yards rushing. 3,000 yard receivers, Evans, Godwin, and Gage. Levante leads them in tackling. Shaq Barrett and Tryon Shoyinka tied for the team lead in sacks. Vita Vea was right there, and then 5 picks for Levante. Wilson wins MVP, but Locke finishes top 3 right behind Rodgers. I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking of a nice pun. Like I was gonna say something like this team was a lock to miss the playoffs, but hey, I respect where it's due. He earned it, okay? Second best quarterback in the NFC, Drew freaking Lock. Talk about a shocker to end the video. Had a lot of help from his offense. Defense didn't do him that many favors, but hopefully they were saving it for the playoff run. We have gotten one team to the Super Bowl, multiple teams to conference championships. Can this be the one where we finally win a Super Bowl? Lock on his first possession in the postseason has to worry about Brian Burns. That's going to be a tough guy to block, but we have Cameron Braid over the middle. 60-yarder for Ryan Suckup. They're saying I can make it, so I'm going to try. 8 miles per hour to the left. We got maximum power. Suckup has the leg. Bucks take the first lead of the game. We got to hope that we go in a seesaw. There we go. Bucks take the lead heading into halftime. Pretty low scoring game. Defense showing out, keeping the Panthers at bay. Only 10 points for McCaffrey and company. Drew Lock wins a playoff game. He's headed to the divisional round. McCaffrey was held in check. This is unbelievable. Moment of truth. We're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. Can we at least make it and get some more gameplay? The answer is no. We lose in the very next round, 34-28. The Commanders got the W. Carson Wentz had a higher pass rating, but I don't know how, honestly. Drew Lock, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Had himself a really good playoffs and surprised a lot of people in this one. But the answer to the question, would the best team in every Madden win the Super Bowl, but the worst starting quarterback, is no. As a matter of fact, in 0 of the Maddens, dating all the way back to Madden 01, the best team just could not get it done with the worst starting quarterback. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys on the next one.